Hello everyone. Today we are going to complete our previous lesson in the plant life cycle in chapter 2, lesson 1, pages 72 and 73. In the previous lesson, we said that the plant life cycle begins with a seed and the seed grows into a new plant. Today we are going to see how the plant makes the seeds. How do plants make seed? First of all, some plants have flowers, other plants have cones. Flowers and cones are the structures that makes the seed. So plants need flowers or cones to reproduce. Reproduce, it means to make new plants. So how do the plants reproduce? By making seeds. So the flowering plants, they make their seeds through their flowers, and the coniferous plants make their seeds through their cones. A flower is a plant structure that makes seeds. We can say the same for the cones. The cone is a plant structure that makes seeds. Plants with flowers are called flowering plants. How do flowers make seeds? So today we are going to watch how the flowers make the seeds. First of all, the flowers smell sweet. Why do they smell sweet? To attract some insects and birds. They could attract the bees, the butterflies, and some birds like the hummingbird. When an insect drinks the nectar from the flower, there is a yellow pollen sticks to its body, and then when it flies to another flower, the pollen falls in the other flower. So as you see here, there is a bee drinking nectar from the flower. So after that, while it's drinking the nectar, you can see the yellow pollen sticks to its body. The pollen is a yellow powder. The flower makes it. So as you see here, the pollen sticks to its body. After that, this bee, it could fly to another flower, then the pollen falls in the flower. So we have two kinds of flowers. We have the male flowers and the female flowers. The male flowers make the pollen, and the female flower makes the eggs. Here the pollen, and here is the egg. And so we call the ones that makes the pollen male flower, and the one that makes the egg the female flower. So as all living things, as the animals, as people, there is male and female. Even the flowers are male flowers and female flowers. Even the plants, they have male and female. And as we said, the male flower makes pollen. Female flower makes the egg. Let's see now how could an animal carries the pollen from the male flower to the female flower. As we said, some animals, they drink the nectar from the flower like the bee. And if it is drinking a nectar from the male flower, the pollen sticks to its body. And after that, the bee is going to fly to another flower. Then the pollen falls in this female flower. So the bee carries the pollen from the male flower to the female flower. And then when the pollen falls in the female flower is going to make the seed. So we call this process pollination. Pollination. Pollination is the movement of pollen from the male part of a flower to the female part. So this is pollination. The pollen moves from the male part to the female part. After that, the female part also makes the egg. Then the pollen with the egg make the seed. After that, the flower, as we said, it makes the seed inside, as you see. Then after that, the flower is going to grow into fruit. Here we have an apple fruit. As you see, first we have the flower. Then the flower grows seeds inside the female flower. After that, the flower is turning into fruit, and the fruit is holding the seeds inside. After pollination, seeds can develop. In flowering plants, fruit forms around the seeds. So this is happens only in the flowering plants, the plants that have flowers. Fruit is a structure that holds the seeds. Now let's see, after the flowers make the seeds, how could the seeds travel to the soil and make the new plants? How seeds travel? The seeds need to move from the fruits into the soil so they can grow into new plants. There are many ways here so the seeds can travel. Before a seed germinates, it must find its way to the soil. How it could find its way to the soil? We have here a kind of plant, it's called a dandelion. This plant has fuzzy seeds, and these fuzzy seeds can be blown in the breeze, as you see in this picture. These seeds could be blown in the breeze, so they can move into another place, then fall into the soil and grow into new plants. Another way, you can see here the apple. As you see, after the apple ripe, it will, after time, it will rot, and then it spills its seeds out. The seeds fall into the soil and then grow into new plants. So ripe fruit, like the apple, fruits fall to the ground, and after time, the fruit rots and it spills its seeds. After that, the seeds can grow in the soil. Another way, the acorns. As you know, the squirrel likes to eat acorns. The squirrels bury the acorns in the soil. As you know, in winter, the squirrels hide their foods. How? By digging holes in the soil and hiding or burying the acorns in the soil. So when the squirrels bury the acorns in the soil, the acorns are going to grow into a new tree. Another way, some plants have prickly seeds. Prickly seeds, as you see, like they have the spines or thorns. These seeds, when the animals move between these plants, the seeds could be stuck in the animal's fur, to the animal's fur, so they can stick to an animal's fur, and then the animals carry them to new places, and then they fall in the soil and grow into new plants. Another way, as we said, the fruits hold the seeds inside. Some animals eat the fruits. So when they eat the fruits, the seeds pass through their bodies and go out into the soil, like the ermine animal eats the berries. And as you know, inside the berries there are seeds. So after the ermine eats the berries, then the seeds pass through the body into the soil. So these are different ways how the seeds can travel into the soil and then grow into new plants. Quick check. Sequence. How does a seed form? As we said before, which part makes the seeds? Yes, very good, the flower. And then when the pollen moves from the male flower to the female flower, it could make the seeds. So seeds form after pollen is carried to the female part of a flower. Thank you for your listening.